Imagine waking up tomorrow with absolutely nothing. No savings, no family inheritance, no wealthy connections, and no one coming to rescue you. Many people view escaping this zero state as a lottery. They wait for a stroke of luck, a secret investment tip, or one genius business idea to change their circumstances. Income alone does not determine wealth. High earners can remain broke, while those with modest salaries achieve financial independence through the way they manage their resources. Financial progress depends entirely on how you use the capital available to you, regardless of the starting amount. Building wealth from nothing requires the disciplined execution of a long-term financial system. When starting at zero, your initial capital is your own ability. Your skills and human effort serve as the foundation for everything that follows. Focus on becoming more valuable by solving specific problems or mastering high-demand skills like sales and software development or data analysis. Income generated from these skills serves three distinct roles. The first is survival, covering basic necessities and establishing a baseline of stability. Once survival is secured, the next priority is creating financial breathing room through an emergency fund. An emergency fund buys you time. These savings allow for rational, calculated decisions during a crisis, rather than desperate ones. Stability allows money to move into its second role, building. Frugality has a natural limit. There is an absolute floor to how much you can cut from your expenses. Earning power, however, can expand significantly through continuous skill development and experience. This widening gap between rising income and controlled expenses represents the surplus. This specific mathematical margin is the primary driver of wealth. Lifestyle inflation often destroys this progress. As income rises, many people immediately increase their spending on housing and transportation, erasing the surplus entirely. Ultimately, wealth accumulates within that surplus, the specific portion of your income that remains after your entire life is paid for. High-cost consumer debt acts as the primary obstacle to the building phase. Financing consumption commits your future income to pay for past choices, often on items that lose value every day. This cycle is often fueled by the social pressure to look wealthy. A luxury car in a driveway can mask the reality of high-interest debt and financial fragility. True wealth is almost always invisible. It exists in cleared debts, quiet investment accounts, and the emergency funds that the public never sees. Projecting a wealthy image through debt destroys the capital needed to secure an actual financial future. A protected surplus eventually moves into its third role, growth. This phase involves converting active income into productive assets, investments and businesses that generate value regardless of your personal labor. Compounding accelerates this growth. Over time, your investments begin to generate returns on their own returns, creating an exponential upward curve. This curve reaches its steepest growth in its final stages. Success here requires patience and consistency rather than high-risk excitement. Sustaining this trajectory requires avoiding reckless risks and adapting your skills as the economic landscape changes. Owning productive assets achieves the final objective, ending the dependency between your time and your income. Starting from zero is a temporary position. It is a point on a map rather than a permanent identity. The process remains consistent. Develop a skill to increase value, control your expenses to create surplus, and use that surplus for assets. Financial independence arrives through hundreds of small, calculated choices repeated over many years. Identify one specific action you can take today to make your financial position stronger than it was yesterday. Engineering financial freedom requires becoming inherently valuable and consistently converting your earnings into productive assets.